All right. So today, this week is all about putting all of the stuff that we've been doing together into some form. So all of us are taking a whole bunch of different approaches to it. Mine today is going to be centered around taking some characters and some interesting poses, and I'm going to hold up little Looney Tunes statues, because what would it be if we didn't have a little life drawing mixed with a little Looney Tunes? And we're going to combine a background and use value, right? Lights and darks, posing, how we're doing that with structure and attitude. And don't worry, George and Victoria, it's going to be awesome. And then we're going to create our little kind of montage character concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up little dudes like this. Little Marvin. Oh, it's adorable, isn't it? Little Marvin. And I'm going to just hold him up there to the screen. And then what I want us to think about is what we're going to put in. And then we're going to do Bugs, because we should. We're going to do Gossamer, because he doesn't clearly get enough screen time, right? And if we have time, this dude is the source of all gags, right, of what he brings down to himself, Wile E. Coyote. So here's what I want to do to start. This whole idea is just about looniness, right? Bringing all the stuff that we learned in fundamentals, everything that we've been working on, into one cohesive piece. So I want us to think about background settings. You're going to say source of all evil. It's very ominous, T. It's very ominous. Before I do that, I think Heather Rose should be my assistant today. So that should totally work. They're ignoring me right now. They're like, as long as we don't look at the camera, we don't acknowledge that he actually said anything. And that's fine. Oh, except for that you're on. So that's all right. So Heather Rose is going to be my assistant today. Did you find a Bugs Bunny lamp and you're seeing that? That's cool. I like finding little treasures like that. All right. So Heather Rose, I'm going to rely on you today for some things. And what should be our background setting? Because we'll pick something when you think of all the cartoons that we watched, and what should be the background setting? Heather Rose, you're my assistant today, so I'm going to fail if you don't, step up to the plate.
Daddy.
Here we go. Ready? Heather Rose, background. Should it be a Planet X thing? Should it be like the forest? You're gonna wait. What do you think? You're not. You're gonna a trailer park. Yes, it could be. All right, Heather Rose is typing furiously away. Here it comes. And the answer is the background. You don't know any Heather Rose. She's John. John, what background should we use? Everyone's gonna change their names, and I'm not gonna know who's what. All right, what should it be? We got all these cartoons to think about.
I'll give her some suggestions.
Yeah, we got Trailer Park, Robin Hood Daffy. All right, there we go, Robin Hood Daffy. So we're gonna go into, good choice. We're gonna go into Robin Hood Daffy, Antarctica. Yes, it doesn't feel like Antarctica here anymore because we're thawing out. All right, so Antarctica, so I want you to take your paper. Right, we're gonna go Robin Hood Daffy. Now, some key features in Robin Hood Daffy, right, is we usually have kind of a rolling hill. There's a bit of a waterway, right? And then we have trees. So I'm gonna set the stage for it, and we're gonna use value to create our background. I'm gonna say that we got our paper. We're gonna use our upper third for the horizon line. So if you just wanna sketch a super light line across the top, that's our horizon line for Robin Hood Daffy, right? We're gonna create a stream. So we're gonna have some hills, some rolling hills. I'm gonna say this is gonna be one hill coming down here. And then we've got kind of one in the background and one in the midground. All right. So I don't know, is it too light? Can you see that? Scott, can you see that?
I can see it. It's very light, but I can see it.
All right, so I'm gonna just sketch a little bit more here. We're gonna give our background some definition because I've got the log that goes across. So we'll put the log in. I'm just keeping my sketch super light, right? We'll tie this all in here in a little bit. There's my log going across. from the Robin Hood Daffy when he's doing his buck and a quarter staff. And we've got this back here, which is part of the cliffs because it goes into the water, right? So this is cliff action here. All right, and then we've got these giant trees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we got a tree that comes out in composition, right? So our framing is going to be in this area. So I'm going to have a giant tree that comes down. And the nice thing about the trees in Robin Hood Daffy is Maurice Noble did a very exaggerated version, which I thought are quite awesome. So there's my exaggerated tree. I've got my roughs in, right? We're going to tie this down in a little bit. All right. So John, if you'd be so kind, what character do we start with? Like, what's the main gag? Let me put it this way. And if people want to throw out some suggestions that my awesome assistant John is gonna throw out. So if we think of a gag, we've got Gossamer, Bugs, and Marvin that we're gonna sketch. So think of our action. We're on the log. We've got that buck and a quarter staff thing. Remember, it doesn't have to be a gag that's strictly related to Robin Hood Daffy. Anybody have an idea on gags? We have all kinds of Acme products we can mix and match. This is part of creativity, brainstorming on the fly. So if you even want to pull from Wiley's contraptions and what he was trying, maybe our main focal point is, let's just say that Marvin is our antagonist, Bugs is our protagonist, and Gossamer is our dim-witted sidekick. Anybody can throw out an idea. All right, I see T typing. T, are you typing a suggestion? T's like, no. John is not helping me out at all here. Come on, John. What do we think? I got a feeling there's lots of like side conversations going that I have no idea what it is. That's fine. All right, tell you what, let's do this. We're gonna go with the Acme. Yes, I'm exactly telling you what to think about because I can't. Way to out the host. All right, I'm going to go with Marvin is attempting to disintegrate Bugs with his Acme disintegrator. Bugs is going to have something where he's going to have a mirror, right? So he'll have the Acme mirror, and maybe the whole idea of the gag is when Marvin's standing on the log is attempting to disintegrate Bugs, Bugs is able to deflect the ray and it disintegrates the log, right? So that's the setup to the gag. Aha, henceforth therewith, Marvin falls into the water. See, look at that. Look at that. That's all I needed. I needed Erica to point out my fallibility, and that pulls it all together. So here's what I want to do. We're going to have Marvin. This is our character, right? See our little Marvin. Can you see that right there? I'm going to put him down here. So go ahead, Scott. Let's go overhead. Here's our Marvin. You can all see him all right. I think so. Okay, so we're going to go Marvin. I'm going to turn him this way. So we've got a little bit of a 3/4 view. So imagine, you can keep his finger up here, and then imagine this hand, which we can just see over here, is holding an Acme disintegration pistol. So I want you to go ahead and rough in Marvin on this log. All right, I'm going to rough in Marvin on the log. It's all right here. Remember, just roughing it in, sketching in Marvin. He's got those awesome shoes. He thinks he's got this nailed, but he doesn't. Okay, and then he'll have the one finger up, his forefinger up, as in victory, right? Because he's basically telling Bugs that he's making the proclamation that he claims this here log, this land in the name of Mars. You can't see. How about that, buddy? Can you see this all right?
No,
All right, and then I'm gonna have this
Might
arm.
mean you're drawing because the camera is focusing on Marvin and
Oh,
not
all right.
your
Here,
drawing.
I'll do this, and then I'll move this down so that everybody can see it.
Better.
All right, there we go. Is that better? All
Much
right,
better.
so we've got our posing here, and then he's gonna have his Acme disintegration pistol. All right. There we go. Got his helmet in there. I've got, and get this. Okay, and I'm gonna get his head down. And then remember, we're just roughing it. And then his eyes, and we'll give him some, he's just kind of looking toward. All right, so there it is, roughed in. There's my roughed in Marvin. I'm gonna give everybody like, I don't know, 2 more minutes to rough in your Marvin. We're gonna do the cleanup after this, add value, all that stuff. Important is like posing, so we've got his pose down. Okay. Does everybody have Marvin down? Thumbs up to the screen if you have Marvin down. Nobody is giving a thumbs up. All right. T's got a thumbs up. We'll wait 1 more minute. Still life drawing with tiny Looney Tunes miniature statues. Brought to you today by the letter P for pencil. All right. Yes, whoever that is, I'm assuming it's Laura, is giving a thumbs up. See, I got that right. Or maybe I did. Whoever Eclipse is, I'm going to take it. That's Evie because she started her name with an E. So that kind of gives that away. Did I get that right? I got it right. I know I got it right. T, am I right? John, did I get that right? Okay. All right, we're going to move to the second character. You ready? Second character is going to be Bugs. So what I want to show in Bugs here is we've got this figure. I'm going to move him down like so. And he's got his classic carrot pose. We're going to go with a, see if I can't get, there we go, a little closer. So I'm going to want to put him right here. And then I'm going to put just an Acme. He's going to maybe be wearing an Acme mirror, right? So instead of an Acme disintegration vest, which would make absolutely no sense because it did very little for Duck Dodgers, he's going to be wearing a mirror strung around, right, hanging down, and that's what is going to reflect the beam. So here's our figure of Bugs. Now, if you look at relation to what Bugs is to Marvin, it's pretty close because my Marvin is pretty dead on for size. So Bugs should be about the size that you see here. It's all right, George and Victoria. Come on, T, that's right. They started their name with an E. It's got to be Evie. I put money on it. I put 3 cents on that T. 3 cents. All right, let's get our Bugs down. So keep it loose. What's that?
So I have these 2 porcelain Garfield figures, and I'm gonna draw those, and I don't know what to do about that.
You don't know what to do about what?
The scene that we're gonna make, and I'm drawing these porcelain Garfields.
So put Garfields in these settings instead of these 2.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of something else from, like, making this biker Garfield in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have this
Ooh, nice.
Garfield.
I am a Garfield fan. All right, so think of them in this setting.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got my Bugs. Again, we're just doing the rough. Remember when we were using just basic shapes to kind of figure out pose and proportion? Same thing here. So Bugs has his carrot. Wait, where can you find a hoodie like what? Like what I got? Is that what you're talking about, T? Who has an awesome hoodie? What am I missing here? Scott, help me
The
out.
Garfield hoodie.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. Here, I thought T was throwing some props my way, but not the case today. It's fine. It's fine, T. All right, so I've got my Bugs. He's got one hand on his hip. And then he's got one leg kind of crossed over the other. Like so. And then his tail's back there. Okay. Again, super loose. I'm not worried about tightening down my drawing yet, even though my Bugs kind of looks like he's from a third world country. All right. It's just super loose. You can see it's pretty similar in size. All right, how are we doing on Bugs? Good. Give it 2 more minutes as my kids destroy my studio behind me. In case you see multiple falling objects. All right, we'll give it 10 more seconds. Wow, T, that's right. Wrong chat, T. Wow. Totally busted. Totally busted. See, look at that. You all are talking amongst yourself in private chat. I have no idea what it is, and all I feel like is left out. I'm left out because nobody cares. It's a pity party for one today, and his name is Ben. Whatever.
Sorry.
All right. All right, pity party for 2. Me and Nathaniel, we are throwing our own pity party. It's a pity party for 2, and I'm bringing the pizza. All right.
Okay.
All right, so there's my Bugs. Okay, so now the key thing is with Gossamer, right? If I've got this Gossamer, now he's not this size. He's actually much bigger. So what do we want to think on, like, where would we put him? I'm almost thinking Gossamer is like the little dude in the back. And, you know, like where it's the prince,
Okay,
whatever that. What's that?
I got you.
So you know where like the prince is back here and he's riding the horse, and that's who Robin Hood is trying to grab from. So I'm gonna put this little Gossamer riding a horse all the way in the distance, and it's gonna be a very awkward looking horse. So just the best that you can in a silhouette of a horse with Gossamer, who's larger than life. So we're gonna just use this as his facial reference. And maybe some little eyeballs. We'll give the smile. And then his expression with his signature. There it is. While he holds on to the reins of the horse. All right, so I've got my horse in the background. So there's the very loose composition. Now we're going to tie in a couple other elements. Okay. All right, we're going to give it 1 more minute here. And then we're gonna start to tie our stuff together. Okay. Everybody good with Gossamer? We kind of have it down for Gossamer. So back to basics, using everything that we've kind of been working on. We're gonna maybe incorporate a little fur, some grass. We can do that with kind of background stuff and some detail, and then showing some value in light to dark with how we bring the depth of our background in, and composition, because he's riding a horse back there. All right, there we go. There's our Gossamer. All right, so here's what I want you to do from here. I want to start by adding a little bit more detail to our background. So I think everybody can see this fairly well. From this point, you can add whatever, and reminder that the further you go back, right, the less detail of things you will see. So it'll get a little fuzzier as you go back. You don't have to show as much detail. And this is all water. We can show some inlets maybe, and how some land works. So I want you to start to tie in your background a bit. Again, not too much detail all the way out. I'm going to get in there with gossamer too. And so even because gossamer's got some fur on them. And if we go in and just real easy show fur, remember, lines that don't always have to connect. I think I'm going to remove the open mouth. We're just going to go with this. And I've got a mane on the horse. And the tail. So tying it in a little more detail. Oh, look at that little gossamer on that little horse. To quote another favorite film, Vector, like a little tiny toilet. All right. Here we go. He's all the way in the background. We'll give him a little hat too, because the prince, or whatever it is, he's got this hat. So we'll give him a very regal stovepipe hat. You should have eaten before drawing. This is like a workout. This is carb loading right now. You should carb load before you draw. I'm about to carb load because I ordered myself a pizza that will get here exactly 10 minutes after class is done. Wait, what did I make a reference to and then I didn't acknowledge? Why am I kept out of everything? Scott, help me out here. Why am I left out of everything? Why do I feel all alone, all by myself?
Don't worry, Ben. I'm there for you.
Thank you, Nathaniel. I knew you would be, man. I knew you had my back. I made a Vector reference from Despicable Me. You are absolutely correct. All right, so I've got that. I'm not going to do too much detail here in the grass or anything like that. I'm going to keep that kind of general. I'm not going to shade it yet. And then as I get into this one's a little closer. So maybe I can see some of the kind of the grassy overhang on the cliffs that kind of go into the water. I will tell you that this is one of my favorite cartoons. So way to go, John / Heather Rose, whichever one we're going by currently, bless you. All right, and then we've got a few, there we go. I'm gonna get to my log, which is about to disintegrate because Bugs is going to deflect the ray. I'm not going to have the end of the log show. It's going to go off the right-hand side of the page. But what I love about kind of doing some texture in this is, for one, I'm going to erase a little bit here. I want to show depth, right? A little bit of three-dimensional action going on instead of just a two-dimensional log, which is exactly what this looks like right now. I'm going to achieve that very simply, where I'm going to keep my lines at the bottom and the top closer together, and then as I move toward the middle, they will get wide. There will be a wider gap, right? So kind of like so. That way I can do it with shading also, but that's a really easy way just to use lines to give myself some dimension and make it look a little 3D. So Erica's all into sunflower seeds. And if we're talking favorite chips, I'm a Cool Ranch Doritos fan. Somebody else in here should be a Cool Ranch Doritos fan. If you're not, that's fine. What's that?
Sorry, I had to boo that.
What? How can you boo Cool Ranch Doritos?
I just don't like Doritos.
How can you boo Doritos? Scott.
I just don't like powdered non-cheese product.
So were you not a Tang fan as a kid?
Oh, I like Tang. I just don't like fake cheese.
Fake, fine. Well, I was never like a cheese whiz in a can thing. That always kind of freaked me out a little bit. So I wasn't like I can go with you there, but Cool Ranch Doritos is, I mean, that's not even cheese. That's some weird thing they concocted in some lab that just tastes like something that I don't even know what it is because it's not ranch.
But it's true, but it's Doritos, and I don't know.
Doritos, fine.
Just don't like Doritos.
So when I come out to visit this summer, Scott, are you telling me that if I bring a bag of Doritos and I'm like,
Then you won't be visiting.
wow. Wow.
I have strong feelings about Doritos.
I can see that. I'm kind of taken aback by that a little bit. I did not
I love
know.
Ruffles though.
How can you love Ruffles and not love Doritos? That's deep fried. That's and it's the ridges and it just gets greasy everywhere. All right, if you were to pick a dip, what would it be? I am a fan of Dean's French onion dip. Scott, don't tell me you hate that also.
I was gonna say ranch.
Wow. Oh, so you'll eat ranch. You just won't eat Cool Ranch. What do you think ranch is? It's all fake. Fine. Fine, Scott. I won't bring
Doritos and Ruffles. It's what, corn versus potatoes.
So you're a Fritos person then. Is that fair to say?
Not
Wow.
really.
We can't, I mean, we can be friends, but like this is kind of hard for me right now. What about like chili cheese dip? You don't have Fritos with chili cheese dip? Do you even have chili cheese dip? Or is that like a Midwest thing? And is that just because I can gain weight in an insanely short amount of time? Because all I do apparently is eat fake foods that go right to my hips. I'm just kidding. It doesn't go, it goes right to my gut. It's more information than anybody wanted to know.
Hey, Dad, which one is Swim Runner? Which one is
Blue.
Swim Runner?
All right.
No, what is his feet color?
His feet are orange. All right. So Scott won't even answer that question. That's fine.
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Tater said Nutella.
Oh, yeah. No, can't do Nutella. Sorry. That's too fake for me. How about that?
Says the guy who likes Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yes, I know. It is. It seems like it's not even a comment I would appropriately be able to make because I would be a hypocrite, except for the fact that if I'm going to eat a chocolatey something spread, and if it's going to be fake, then I just can't do it. All right, so I'm tying down my Marvin and getting his arm in there. We don't have to get off the topic of food, by the way, because I'm totally starving. Yeah, I'm not even saying Nutella has glory. I'm just saying it's a thing. You know, I mean, and if you like it, man, all right, hands down, that's cool. Now, I won't be like a Scott and not invite you over. That would be sad. But if you brought mayonnaise, I couldn't invite you in. So that's kind of my one thing of like, no, you know, we can be friends, but we can't eat together because if you dip your fries in mayonnaise, that's a non-starter for me and I will throw up. If you're watching this later, by the way, on YouTube and you're wondering what the heck is going on and is this actually what a class is like? Yes, it is. We draw characters and cartoons and fundamentals and we talk about what makes us puke. So here is my Marvin. we're tying that down. And then now I'm going to move over to my bugs. We'll get a little closer. Remember that commercial, Get a Little Closer with Arid Extra Dry? I think it was a deodorant commercial. And for whatever reason, Scott, come on, you got to remember that. Still stuck in my head.
Oh yeah,
Wait, I didn't.
definitely.
What was the health question? What did I miss? What's the healthiest thing? Oh, what's the healthiest thing I eat? Okay. So I thoroughly enjoy, and this might sound odd, I enjoy, I can't say fried potatoes because that's vegetable, but it's fried. The healthiest thing I eat, I will do fruit smoothies. And when I do them, I do not use yogurt because yogurt also makes me vomit. And I'll tell you a tiny story behind that on why that is the case. But I do fruit smoothies with fresh and frozen fruit. And then I use pomegranate juice to mix it. And it is delicious. So here's my story, y'all, on why I cannot eat yogurt at all. And it makes me want to hurl. And why that mayonnaise and the New England Patriots should never exist, ever. But we'll get back to that later. So when I was maybe like 8 years old or 9 years old, I went over to a buddy of mine's house. And I used to enjoy that because he had Nintendo and I did not have Nintendo. So we played Nintendo and Nintendo was fun. And for all you kids out there, which is pretty much everybody except for Erica, Scott, and myself, we played the original Nintendo. And by the way, Erica, I'm not aging you. So you could very well be totally younger, but I think you gave it away earlier. So I don't feel bad totally about it. And so we'll give him the eyebrows there. He's got his eyelids kind of half down because he knows that Marvin's in for it. And I need to put that mirror, the Acme mirror around his chest. Okay, so anyway, I'm at my buddy's house, right? And his mom, who I came not to like very quickly, was making food and said, would you like to try? And she had seaweed out. Have you ever had seaweed? Now in sushi, that's one thing, right? But straight up seaweed with some rice. It's not delicious. I'm going to tell you right now, not delicious. And so, okay. So I was over at his house and I said, sure, I'll try whatever. And yogurt, right? It was yogurt with whatever fruit or something's in there. And I'm like, sure, I'll try that. And I did not like it. I did not like the flavor. And so she said, well, you took it, so you have to eat it. And okay, if you're trying something for the first time, right? I'm not going to expect you to necessarily eat the whole thing if you don't like it. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to make you eat it at all. Fine, you tried it. You've never tried it before. This woman proceeded to sit there and make me eat the whole thing. I did not get to play video games that day. Do you know that I never went back to his house ever? So she then told me that I had to take it home with me and that my parents should make me finish eating this. And she was going to send them with a note saying that I had to eat this yogurt and this seaweed. Right. So that didn't happen. I didn't eat the yogurt. And to this day, the smell of yogurt makes me want to vomit. Yeah, that person sounds evil. All right. She was not a super nice person. And I never did go back to that kid's house because I'm like, no, I'm going to make a hard pass on that. Because next thing you know, your mom's going to pull out something like cow's tongue and octopus and probably styrofoam sheets and maybe like a ceiling panel or something. And I'm going to have to chew on that for a while. And I just don't feel like it. Moral of the story, people, yogurt is not great with seaweed. Moral of the story. Don't go over to a friend's house just to play Nintendo when the mom wants to force feed you ridiculousness. All right.
Click has a good question. What about frozen yogurt?
I will eat frozen yogurt. And you know why? Because there is it sounds maybe like an oxymoron, but or whatever you want to call it. I don't even remember what the word. If Soleil was here, she would give me the word, but she's not. So frozen yogurt I can do because I don't have the smell of yogurt with it. It's just like
Kat
mushroom.
raised her hand.
Yes, Kat.
No, I think we might have lost your video.
Did we lose your video? Okay, all right. There's my bugs. I've tied in my bugs. I've got this, right? I've got this down. I'm going to rough in my tree, and then I'm going to start on value and start to distinguish a little bit. I'll do it with my pencil instead of color. We'll get the roots in here because Porky is usually right about here, laughing his rear end off. Okay. So yeah, I can't do, is it okay? So I eat yogurt every day for breakfast, and I'm going to have to disagree with you there. Yogurt is disgusting. All right, fair enough. Yes. And if you like it, that's totally cool. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat yogurt. I'm just saying I cannot. And it is a visceral reaction, just like Scott has. To apparently any form of Doritos, and will not be a friend of mine or let me in the house, especially if there is a tornado going on. If I have a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos with me, he won't.
Sorry.
See, look at that. He wouldn't even let me in if there's a natural disaster going on. Wow.
Oh, cat's back.
Cat's back. All right. So there's my rough. We're going to zoom out a little bit more. My bugs is a little off, but that's okay. So I'm going to start with this. And remember, you know, when we were talking value and light to dark, and as you look out and just you take a look at a picture, take a look at out in nature, especially if you're in an area where maybe you have some terrain that is, you know, has some like mountains or hills and stuff to it, and that you can see it gets lighter as you get toward the farther you get away. We'll get a diaper. All right.
Here's cat.
Hey, dude.
I wanted to share and say something.
Okay.
I would say that straight up seaweed is gross, especially with yogurt, ew. But wasabi seaweed with like seasoning is good.
Okay. And yes.
Also, Lay's lemon chips are the best kind. Haha.
Ooh. Are we talking about like the post limon haha chips with the whole commercial on that? Is that what we're talking about? The ones that have a little kick to them? It's like I'm doing a commercial for Frito-Lay. All right.
This is what I got really behind, and then I got confused. I decided to draw a different scene.
All right. So let's see did we just show that and I missed it? Oh,
I
nice.
think your video dropped again.
Oh, your video's dropping there. Okay.
This is the tree,
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit. You're cutting out just a little
the
bit.
beginning of a tree.
I dig it. All right, I've got cats and nine tails here because they're in. And then I'm just showing a little movement in the water as far as grounding them in there by a little water line, just a little one. And remember, like all my background elements are not really competing with what's going on here. I kind of have a linear thing going on in a triangle, right? And then even my tree helps to support the main action and kind of keep it all in this space. All right, and then I'm going to make this even darker. There we go. Just roughing it in with my pencil.
Hey Ben, can we be Nintendo Online friends?
Can we be Nintendo Online friends?
Yeah, because you have a Nintendo Switch and I have a Nintendo Switch. We can be online buddies.
I am pretty sure that we can.
That sounds great. Also, can I show my drawing?
You absolutely may.
This is pretty big.
Oh, that is pretty big. Nice. I love the Garfields, man.
There are two Garfields.
I know. I see that. I love the background element that you have with it too. Way to go. That looks cool. All right. Well done. So you can kind of see a little darker, a tad bit lighter because it's still kind of close, much lighter in the back. And then, you know, we'll put a little shadow underneath the log. Have my cliffs come down here. Maybe there's a shadow under here a little bit. The whole idea behind this is pulling a whole bunch of stuff together. So we've got some pretty solid poses. If I were to just shade all this in like we did in the one, you'd see fairly solid pose for Bugs. And Marvin, he's got some distinguishing characteristics of that. Okay. Look at the diaper. All right.
I got a diaper.
That's awesome.
Honey, I got a diaper.
Yep. So here's the fun part of doing things live, especially when you have children in the studio. I appreciate the fact that you got a diaper. That's awesome. So Daddy's going to take care of that in a minute. Thank you. You don't need the chips right now either. I will take care of that in a minute.
Oh, I'm hungry.
I know you're hungry.
Yeah.
So am I. And that's why we have pizza coming.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Well,
I want chips.
I understand that. You're going to have to wait.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. I've got that down. How are we doing on this? Who's getting overly frustrated? Wait. T casually is going through art block and has done 3 sketches and nothing else. It's all right. We have those moments. That's hopefully this helped at least a little bit in formulating. So I've got my dudes down. Actually, I need to shade in the Marvin's head. Give a little bit of distinction there. There we go. See, look at that. All right, Erica's done. Let's see Erica's. Let's spotlight Erica.
Okay.
Hi.
So this is how mine turned out.
Oh, dude, that looks great. Way to go. I am super impressed.
So, and I love Robin Hood Daffy.
See, we're all in that same vein. One of my absolute favorite films.
I wanted to show one that I did a while ago of the Robin Hood Daffy scene.
Oh, yes. Yoinks and away.
Yeah.
Every time he hits that tree, the next tree, I crack up. And if you notice, this was something about Chuck's timing. When he gets into that gag, you'll notice that the timing between him hitting things gets faster and it cuts in half every time. Wham, and then wham, and then wham, wham, wham. And it was part of how he did his timing in film. So if you look at the gags and what they do, that's an excellent cartoon to see his timing use.
Yeah.
Well done, by the way. Love the drawing.
Thank you.
I know you're hungry, but you're gonna need to wait. Like,
I'm hungry too.
right? I'm hungry.
I'm making sandwiches.
See, you're making sandwiches. I've ordered a pizza. It's like a big food fest. One day we'll do a virtual food fest while we're doing the show. All right. Who else wants to go? I'm gonna finish up and tidy a few things here. Who else wants to go? Not bad for doing something in like 45 minutes. Wait.
Here's Liliana and Heather Rose.
Oh, look at that. See, Erica, Scott designed the graphics on the water bottle. Look at how it all ties together. So T, what is, oh wait, hold on. Let's see. And then I'm gonna ask T what's for dinner. Let's go. There you go. John, nice job. Or are we back to Heather Rose? I'm not sure, but that looks awesome. Love the log. I love the Marvin setup. Your Gossamer back there looks hilarious with the hat on. I like your hat better than mine. And way to go on the bugs. Nice job, dude. Way to pull it together. All right, Liliana, or maybe her name is Steve. Nice. Check that out. See, and like in a short amount of time, you guys are able to rough all that stuff in, which is the same thing I do when I'm painting, but you did a killer job. Love that, man. Good job on the poses too, and getting that down from the statues.
Thank you.
You're welcome. T, what's for dinner if you're not allowed to have chicken nuggets? Let's hope it's something delicious. And by the way, you should just unmute yourself because you're live. Can we make tea live? Tea is live. Oh, burgers and fries. That's not bad. All right, you're live, T. You're live. Let's see what you have. Come on, buddy. T is my friend, and he can't hide from me. I'm gonna make a song all about T. See, look at that. It rhymed. There he goes. Let's try
Why
it.
don't you make a song about me?
Oh, I'll make a song about Nathaniel. Don't you worry. And it's gonna be epic. It has to come to me. I had one about Soleil. Would I eat yogurt even if I were starving? No, I would not. So have you all seen WandaVision in the last episode with the Halloween one? If you've seen that one in the little commercial, it has a thing about yogurt that the kid can't get open and then he just dies. It's kind of sad, right? That would be me. I wouldn't open the yogurt. I would just waste away to nothing. Don't worry, I didn't give away anything. It's just the commercial part, and it has no bearing on the plot. All right, let's see who else. Who else would like to show? Evie wants to show. Come on, Evie. What about Laura or yes or whatever we're doing? Nope, she doesn't want to show either.
Kat has her hand up.
All right, Kat.
Let's see if the Wi-Fi wants to work long enough for me to share.
Okay.
Also, I kind of want to watch WandaVision, but I know nothing about universes of anything, so I'd probably be entirely lost.
Yeah, there's some movies that we would recommend to you before that. All right, dude. Hey, there you go. So that's coming out. Tell me what you have going on the right-hand side.
Over here, my camera's reversed and I'm really confused.
Oh, sorry. On the side that you did second.
So over here?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe to have some character maybe hanging from here or sitting up on here. I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay.
I was reading a book with my dad yesterday. It was the first book in the Green Ember series. Anyway, and it had a really old gnarled kind of tree. It had lots of trees, and that was kind of the inspiration for this. And I'm like, well, I might as well do that. And so I did.
Absolutely. That works. Well done.
Here's Tater.
All right. So, T is going to show. All right, T, you're up.
Marvin with a gun, because why not?
It's a very what are you going to do about this kind of image is what I
Yeah.
get. Like, what are you going to do about it? All right, good
Yeah.
job. What about the other two?
No.
No? Wow. Totally shut down on that. All right, T, you should just let it all out there, T. Just let it all out and see that. Okay, so in a quick form, right, we're pulling together some different things using some Looney characters. The whole point is, as you go back through the month of February, tying in these fundamentals that we've been working with. Yeah, I'm going to change his diaper in a second. This is recorded for posterity, so that when he's a little older, I can be like, did you see that? I was trying to teach a class and you bombed me out. And now I have to change your diaper after it's done. And everybody knew about it. Anyway, so I hope you guys had some fun with this and it wasn't overly frustrating. As we go through the week, we've got Lee and Daryl and Mike and Aileen, and it's all about all these things that they're going to pull together, which I think is awesome. And then next month, I believe, if I'm correct, which I'm fairly certain I am, we are going to do comic book month because we're now going to do it twice a year. And we're not going to do a paid camp thing at the end. We're going to blend this thing all together, right? And I think we're going to focus on female heroes as it's National Women's Month, I believe, which is going to be kind of cool because there's a whole lot to pull from. So, George and Victoria. Okay. Yes. All right. Well, I hope you've all had a fun time. I've thoroughly enjoyed this whole fundamentals thing from January and February. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here on Monday. Have a lovely evening, all.
Goodbye, my friend Ben.
Goodbye, my friend
everyone.
Nathaniel.
Thank you, you glorious people. Have a glorious day.
Have a glorious day to you, Tater.
Thank
Bye.
Later, guys.
Bye.
I love the Doritos background. Yes, Scott. Yes.
Ah.